What up, world? Welcome back. I am Dwayne Langham. This is the Ave, Yolo Ave, the road least traveling. You have just tuned in for another live YouTube broadcast. Got a little something special today. Ask and you shall receive. So I got a comment on one of my older videos talking about the landmark advanced course review, and somebody was requesting for the self-expression leadership review. Actually, there are two comments. I didn't look at the one back in the past, so I figured it's time I go ahead and do it. I thought about it, but hadn't gotten around to it. So we're going to do something special. Just because you asked, you shall receive it. So today, we're going to talk about the landmark self-expression and leadership program, SELP, and what it has to offer. So I completed that program along with the rest of the curriculum for living. You can go back and watch my reviews, but just to summarize, the landmark form is about getting yourself whole and complete, getting down to nothing so that you can get rid of your stories, get rid of anything in your blind spots, anything in your past that you're dragging around, get clarity, get in action, and get your life by design. The advanced course, and these were my experiences, so not to say that this is what Landmark packages and calls it or what they're offering or the benefits of it. This was my personal experience. The advanced course gets you out beyond yourself and into community. What is it about your family? What is it about your coworkers? What is it about your relationships, partners, friends? What is it about other human beings? Taking the moment to just get face to face, eye to eye, amongst other exercises, and get connected to other people, to lose the doggy dog, everyone's out to get me, perceiving things as a threat, and just seeing that we are all human. We are all in it together. They don't win unless, or I don't win unless they win. All right? So now you got that. You've cleaned yourself up. You're responsible now for your community. Now the self-expression and leadership program takes it out into the world. You've got this great toolbox of things. It's helping get your life together, helping to get those you care about together. And now, what puts you into the world with it powerfully? That's what this program is about. The self-expression leadership program. First, like I said, out in the world. Expressed. Who are you? What do you stand for? What are you about? Having that in the world. How does that show up? Well, you take on a program, or not a program, you create a project within this program. So over the 3 months, you're going to find something in some community that you want to impact. Something where you see there's a missing, something where you see an opportunity to make a difference, to be the change that you want to see in the world. And this is where you take yourself, how that situation occurs for you, and you express, you stand up, you stand for what it is that you want to see differently. You stand what it is that you want to see righted out of the wrong or present that was previously missing. So that's the overall. Now, within that, you're going to have lessons, distinctions, exercises that will really amp up your leadership. And that's what gets all the great tools that Landmark offers out into the world through you as the catalyst, your leadership, recognizing what leadership is, how it shows up. And no, I'm obviously not going to go into detail of the distinctions and what's actually covered. That's why you need to take on the program that's 3 months long and not going to be in my 5 or 10 minute video. But once you get that, and you have the ability to create a team, the ability to pass off responsibility, to delegate, to manage the project, manage the community, that's the type of thing that really takes, it's a, entry level. You can't get too in depth in 3 months, but it's a understanding and encompassing of leadership that is not really available anywhere else, to my knowledge and my experience. Beyond the local individual or even entity who's trying to package or give a service or product that offers leadership development. This is, I'd say, a good basis for what you're going to get for yourself and how to get into the world and be a leader. What does that mean? How do you get people behind you? How do you rally the troops? How do you keep people engaged, in line? How do you not end up doing everything by yourself? Because remember, this is about taking it into the world. So through this program over the 3 months, that's what you'll get. You'll get those distinctions, you'll have that ability, you'll recognize your leadership, and you'll see where you can make a difference in the world, an actual impact. Like I said, by the end of it, the goal is that when you cross the finish line, when this project is done, what you set out to accomplish, what you set out to make impact in is now different. Me personally, I took on a project with my family. Other people did non-profit organizations. Some people did things for veterans, like all kinds of ideas. It's literally what you're up to. And then what happens is that you really get the sense of, because in this program, that community, the rest of your participants, classmates, whatever you want to call it, you get present to all that they are touching. So it's like an exponential effect, because this class of, 15, 20, 30 people, now you're seeing these 15, 20, 30 worlds, communities. You're hearing about the problems over here in this neighborhood. You're hearing about the problems over here in this business. You're hearing about what's going on with raising funds here. You're hearing about what's happening to children over here, so on and so forth, women, veterans, all kinds of things. The things that people really care about come up, and you get to get present to that. And you get to acknowledge what it is that you and that community, so the community that you're a part of in that program, impacts in the world. How many people did you share the work that's offered through Landmark with? Not that that's a task, but just getting in touch with, okay, you made a difference in these people's lives. Your program, the project that you create in the program has done something to touch people's lives. So all in all, my personal experience, before getting into the more, what would you call it, like graduate level, or post-grad, undergrad, grad, kind of like a degree, but getting into the more advanced leadership roles, programs that they have, of the curriculum for living. For myself personally, the self-expression leadership program was the pinnacle, I'd say, ultimately for what I'm out to do. I do consider myself a thought leader. I'm a life coach. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm out here helping and giving to people. Not everyone is like me. Not everyone has the same interests in me. But for myself personally, like I said, I picked up for the forum the tools I needed for me. The advanced course, I picked up the tools I needed for my community. But the self-expression leadership, when those tools had sat on the shelf and gotten a little dusty because I'm managing my life, I relocated to Atlanta from Dallas at the time. That program had me pull all these tools off the shelf and actually get them into my life. And it really started a snowball effect, because after you go there, it's like, well, what's the next level? What's the next level? And here I am a year later. I'm about to take on $1 billion brand in the next 36 months. So I hope that review gives you the insight. If there's additional questions, any additional thoughts, feedback, as always, drop some comments, and let's keep the discussion going. And happy to complete the series of the Landmark Curriculum for Living and offering up that value. Seriously, if you're considering it, you're going to get your own experience. So mind you, whatever you think about my review, mind you, whatever it is that you've seen online, there's only so much to research. What do you want for your life is literally the truth of it. If you're considering it, take it on, because there's something there for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be interested. And of course, in the meantime, I'll be right here on the Ave, wishing you the best and only success. Get out there, be powerful, and if anything I talked about sounds like it's something you could use in your life, go register yourself for the Self-Expression Leadership Program and get out there and impact the world. Be powerful, people. Peace.